one of my favorite things about this is how quiet this engine is. Believe it or not, it's the most quiet side-by-side I've ever been in. Our 400-yard range. In first gear, four-wheel high, and you can see going down a pretty steep grade here, and she's just muddling along just over 850 RPM. I'm not touching the gas, not touching the brake. I'm off both, and it just crawls, man. I'm doing about 3 miles an hour, just crawling. Look at that. Pretty nice. Take off going up this hill, and again, I'm in four-wheel high. I'm going to throw her in first gear and see how she gets up this steep grade. So here we go. This is the one I just came down, and I'm just letting out, and I'm off the gas, off the clutch, off the brake. Let's see, look at the RPMs there. You see I'm just crawling right up this, not even touching the gas, and that's four-wheel high, folks. I think this is a 538 rear end in this. So yeah, look at that. We're just putting up through here. No brake, no gas, no clutch. Of course, braking the clutch would be useless up this hill. Putting along here. Over a little land bridge I made here to get across this wet weather creek. Yeah. Cut me a path through the old wall. Going over some big rocks here. See how she feels. Woohoo! All right. Weren't nothing to it. Yeah, we're just putting along here. Woohoo! Little trails here. Oh, big bump here, big bump. Let's check our departure angle. All right, so you're looking at the new last minute rock crawler, and this is actually a Mahindra Roxor. And I just picked this thing up the other day from a place in Dry Ridge, Kentucky called Cornerstone Equipment. And thanks to those guys, the salesman I dealt with was Joe over there. He was excellent to work with. Only place I've ever been, guys, where they told me what the price was. I drove it, I liked it, decided to buy it. And when we went to sign the paperwork, it was still the same price. They didn't like add anything on or try to fudge numbers and get you in the back room and try to, you know, work one over on you. So it was exactly as advertised, and I couldn't be happier with this purchase so far. But let's walk around it and get a good look at it here. Okay, so first things first. Why a Roxor? Why buy one of these? Well, first off, I've got a Mahindra tractor. It's a 4550. Love that thing to death. That has been an outstanding tractor. And just, I think it's unparalleled as far as the motor and everything. There's no regen, no modern stuff like that on it. It's as simple as you can get and still have a modern day tractor. Likewise, that's the way this Roxor was. It's basically, you know, for lack of a better term, it's like a Willys Jeep. It's built very old school, all metal construction everywhere. The floor pans, all metal. Standard shift, you know, you've got, and that really was the biggest selling point to me, is the fact that it is a standard shift and it's a diesel. I can run off-road farm diesel in this thing, not a problem, and I get that pretty economically, relatively speaking. The fact that it's got a 5-speed transmission, huge. I do a lot of work on the farm. I'm planning on using this to haul a bunch of stuff. It's got a 3,490 pound tow capacity. I got to put the ball cock and everything on it yet. I've got to order that. The bed capacity is claimed to be only like 340 pounds. Now, that sounds kind of silly, especially when you see some of these plastic jobs, like Polaris and Honda. They don't have leaf spring setups. They don't have big rear discs like that and everything. So why so light? Well, from the research I did online, and this is just guys talking, I don't know that this is the case, I can tell you I can jump up and down the bed of this thing, Mr. Obvious and it won't squat a bit. There's no divider between the driver, passenger, and the cargo. Okay, now from what I read, that's a safety hazard. So if you had to lock up your brakes, whatever cargo's in the back can come forward, and there's nothing separating you from the cargo. And that's why they say the capacity is so light. That's what folks online are saying, and it makes sense to me. Now there is a skid plate on the gas tank, and there's a skid plate from the factory on the transfer case, but it has no skid plate on the oil pan. We'll crawl under here and look at it. Now we're looking in from the side here. You can see there's the oil pan with no skid plate. Of course, you got front differential right here. There are drain plugs on all the differentials. You know, the only Zerk fittings that I have found are on the U-joints for the drive shafts coming into the transfer case and out. Okay, you can see it's like rhino lined everywhere, or some kind of rhino-like lining. There is a rhino liner in the bed. We'll crawl under here further. See the exhaust, rear differential. Here, this ties into your roll bar, roll cage. And, I mean, yeah, this thing's just built very solid. Now, oddly enough, your hood release is on the passenger side. I am told it's because they were made in India and they drive on the wrong side of the road in India. So let's get this hood open. Right here is the heart and soul of this baby, and it is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo diesel, and that is just cool as hell. This thing, despite all this stuff that you're seeing going on here, the hoses and everything, this is very simple to work on. There's really not much going on. There's no DEF fluid necessary for these diesels. You know, you can see anything that I'm typically going to work on would be like your thermostat, your alternators right there, your turbos down here, and it's just a little bitty turbo. Little bitty turbo. You can kind of see her down there. Okay, so you got this little tiny turbo. You can actually hear it whistle. It sounds pretty. But you're only talking with this, I think 62, 63 horsepower factory. And of course, you can get the computer here tuned. There's a place called Diesel Freak I was looking at. You can do tunes, get these things well over 100 horsepower, and some guys make them street legal. They are governed at 55 miles per hour. But that can be deleted. There are people that make these street legal. Here in Kentucky, that's not really an option. But this thing is built very tough, very durable. And like I said, it's basically a Willys Jeep. In fact, Mahindra has had the contract to build the Willys Jeep since like 1947. And I'm sure if you'll read about the lawsuit they had with Jeep when they brought this thing over into the States, hence the altered front end. They spread the headlights out a little bit, got rid of the vertical grille to make it look less like a Jeep. But folks, for all intents and purposes, it's an old World War II Willys with a diesel engine. I mean, that's just pretty cool. Drives great. Like I mentioned, the standard shift was a big selling point for me. And that's because it is durable. It does have a large towing capacity. Any other side-by-side that you look at, really they're fiberglass and plastic, and they have CVT transmissions. That is a huge negative for me. The CVT is not really built to work. Those are built to tool around on, drive around, you know. It's not made to haul equipment, to really do a lot of work on a farm. I run an orchard here, or I'm attempting to anyway. And this vehicle is going to serve me very well. I see this holding up, lasting for a long time. At the very least, is very easy for me to work on. Any issues that might arise, it's nothing that's out of my wheelhouse. You know, very simplistic, which I like. I like that it's all steel. Now, one thing I will say that is a negative. The steel floor pan is not heavy gauge. The rest of it is very heavy gauge, but right here, floor pan, little light, nothing horrible. Like I said, it's like rhino lined all around it, or something like rhino liner. It might not be the exact coating they use, but a similar type coating. And the undercarriage is coated as well. Feels like the same stuff, might not be. Accessories for this, there are a lot. A lot of things I'm going to do. Mr. Obvious is going to help me hook up the winch. You know, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Obvious is a classically trained mechanic, and he can do it all. He can wire and everything. And, you know, nothing that complicated, but we are going to wire up a winch and probably do some lighting. And Mr. Obvious is a hell of a welder as well, so we might make us a good metal top for this. Eventually I will order a windshield. I got some rear view mirrors coming now. But yeah, this is what this thing looks like new under the hood, and I don't have a lot of time on it yet. I do the first oil change maintenance at 10 hours, and I'll be doing a video of that, both for your viewing pleasure, and if you own one, see how I do it, and as a record for warranty purposes. They do have a factory warranty. You know, everything about this thing's cool. I'm really enjoying it so far. And all right. And here we go again, taking off. And going up another really steep grade here. It's one of my fields I haven't been on in a long time. I don't even cut this because really it's kind of gnarly. I'll show it to you. But the previous owners of this property were cattle farmers mainly, and the cows kept this beat down. I'm sowing it natural grasses and stuff, and I'm using this area more for deer hunting, and I'm not really interested in running cattle. As I mentioned, I'm attempting to run an apple orchard, but that's on a different part of the property. I'm letting that go back to nature. Also be a good time to mention, if you're looking for a hot rod and looking to, you know, tear ass through the woods and on a trail and jump banks and stuff, this probably is not your vehicle. You would probably be a lot happier with a Razor or something to that effect. If you're looking to work it and actually get out here and work this vehicle, I think this is the best thing out there in its class, you know, in this UTV market. It's just my opinion. Hit second gear for the first time here, so we can kind of just pedal on a little faster. So this is going to be a chestnut orchard back here, and I I've sowed this some winter wheat and some other things I'm getting ready to till up for this spring. But I'm going to do chestnuts. But yeah, so I've got a pretty decent sized place to kind of keep an eye on and tool around on. So that's really what I bought this thing for. Okay, so that was my quick overview of the Mahindra Roxor. I'll be bringing you a lot more as we go. Mr. Obvious and I will be modifying this and doing different things to it. Just wanted to give you initial impressions, what I thought about this this beautiful vehicle. I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to keep having fun in it. And I'm going to spend the rest of this evening hauling in some firewood, and I don't know, I might go trail running here. So yeah, just wanted to bring this to you. With that, everybody, remember, keep your knives sharp, keep your powder dry, subscribe to Last Minute Man.